I look out across the water, I smell the salt and feel the breeze, but in my heart I hear the calling of my old home, Tennessee. We don't know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow. The sun is gonna rise each and every time, but I've still got Tennessee on my mind. From Leapers Ford to Watertown, and maybe Johnson City or Memphis bound. No matter where I go, no matter what I see, I still hear the calling of Tennessee. And who we to know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow. The sun is gonna rise each and every time, and I've still got Tennessee on my mind. I miss the smoke on the Cumberland and the fireflies at midnight, and the color of the leaves in the fall. Who are we to know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow? The sun is gonna rise each and every time, and I've still got Tennessee on. Yeah, I've still got Tennessee on my mind. Yeah.
I would say my head had been better. Back again, my familiar stand. Nothing more than a thought to relate to. Tied it up for better or worse. I'm going back to my ways, to the sanctuary. Nobody stays, but I'm removed by my situation, lacking concentration on what I mean when I say extensions of what I believe in. Thoughts are my product of reasoning. My eyes are relaxed, but my head's got them leading the way. It's not often I've arranged things, and it's not like me to be clear. There's a bitterness inside me waking up. Lord, I take it in my grip, but that just sank me deeper. Now I know what they meant when they said nothing takes you out of a hole, out of your story. Leave your ambitions all in the front yard.
Come all you young rounders, and a story I'll tell of the promise of heaven and the warning of hell. But take heed where you ramble, or too soon you will go. Way up on the hillside where the new flowers grow. Well, he met in the springtime, the sun sinking low. Two star-crossed lovers in the still melting snow, where the loving was easy and the courting was brief. Well, they called her a beauty, they called him a thief. In the quiet of the evening, they'd steal away, where the laughter would flow and the fiddle would play. Well, the folks called it wrong, but hell, it seemed alright. In the sun-painted picture, and the day turned to night. Come up on the hillside, we'll have a time. If you'll bring the kisses, honey, I'll bring the wine. Keep your heart guarded, or too soon it'll fall. When one walks back home, honey, only one knows it all. Well, she walked up the hillside alone one day, and the heart is a hunter, always knows of its prey. And her father's old pistol hanging loose by her side. When she aimed once, she never shot twice. Well, the air was so still, and the sky was so blue. Before she could see them, the laughter she knew, she heard two shots ring out down in the town. There was three on the hillside, but
only one headed down. I was just a baby, but I remember that day when I walked up the hillside, saw 2 mounds of clay. I'll always remember, and I'll never go back up the hillside where the new flowers grow. Back up the hill.
got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up. And throughout the world today.
uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. How y'all? You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. Brand new biblical question for this week. A brand new biblical question for this week. Have you ever, and can you ever solve a non-practical problem by thinking about it? Have you ever, and can you ever, solve a non-practical problem by thinking about it? A very deep and good question. A very deep and amazing question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. Hold on a minute, folks. I got to close this door. I hear noise out there. A very interesting question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, too busy to sit and watch the show, anywhere in the world, you can podcast the show, but you can be listening while doing what you're doing, that you're doing, by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500 on your iPhone or iPad, and you can podcast the show later. Also, don't forget to follow us, Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram, and JLP Talk on X. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram, JLP Talk on X. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, and blah, blah, blah. I appreciate it. Amazing. It's Tuesday. And by the way, to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com. It's Tuesday. And every Tuesday is Country and Western Tuesday. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days when the line between right and wrong wasn't so hazy. And Grandpa, when lovers never ran away, stay beside one another, gone with me. Whoa, whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Amazing. The good old days is unfortunate. I guess unfortunate. But it is interesting. I'll put it that way. I don't know how fortunate it is that generations and generations of American-born will never know the good old days. they will always know the hell days in America. Isn't that amazing? They won't know about the good old days because it's hard to find a family or area where people are truly living it nowadays, where men are in control of the homes, the businesses, and the women are obeying and following the man. And then it's hard to find even statues and memories of it because the enemies within have destroyed and are destroying America. They're like completely erasing it. I know now how communism come about. I never thought that something like this can happen in my country. But it is. It's like openly happening. And nothing or no one is stopping it. The Christians are sitting around talking about the end times, not recognizing the end time already here in the world. What the? And they're waiting for Jesus, and Jesus has already come. And the secular people are having a hoot-nanny of a time destroying one another. And the Christians are too, to be honest. We live in a very, 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 mamma mia, hola, si senor, a very sick society, a very sick world, a very sick country today. A very sick and evil country. Our battle is a spiritual battle. It's not physical at all. And you've been lied to and been told that it's physical, and you believe it. And you're trying to solve spiritual issues with physical things. We have a sick government today. And they don't care because the people are sick, and they know that they can tell the people anything, and the people will still vote them in over and over and over again because they're just like the people. The people who voted them in are the same as the government. It's mind-blowing to see that, to just see it. The world, there are two worlds, an illusion of a world outside of you, and then the real world inside. Which one will you live from? Because the outside world, which is created by people who inwardly are living in misery, they're living in hell, and they are imposing their hell on everybody else. And they're loving it. Absolutely loving it. We have a sick government today. Some of you may have heard that the 10 freeway was shut down here in Los Angeles. And the 10 freeway is one of the busiest freeways in the city of Los Angeles. And a lot of people travel it, go down past downtown and all through everywhere. Well, according to a report, there was an explosion under the bridge over this past weekend. And some people are saying that, and I don't know what happened, but some people are saying that it was due to the homeless people living under that bridge and something exploded. I know that the homeless people, who, by the way, are pure evil people and can care less about you or your property or anything else, they feel deserving. And they know that the law is on their side and against the ones who work hard and take care of themselves. Homeless people are some of the nastiest, but not only. The people who take care of the homeless people are the same, too. Evil, destructive people you ever want to see. And the people who take care of them the Christians, the government, as bad or worse as they are, because they take care of them and they make sure that they stay in their hellhole so that they can take care of them. They can go pray for them. They can go feed them. The government can get them housing, free drugs and free this. Evil serving evil. And it's a mess. Are you going to be in the world or of it? The decision's up on you and you only. No human being can help you out of your hell. Zero. And so anyway, they were saying that the homeless could have possibly set this fire because they smoke all kind of drugs and they light it up and then they don't care what's around to catch a fire. What do they have to lose? Zero. They'll just go find another location to stay at, bridge to live under. And then the city officials, they'll just come out and tell you anything to take it off them, and you're blind enough and foolish enough to just believe it. You just believe it, and when it's time to vote again, you vote them in. And the roads in Los Angeles are a mess. Going down La Cienega Boulevard toward Beverly Hills, holes, bumps, potholes in the alleys around these areas, potholes, and they'll come out and they'll put a little something in the pothole, but they won't smooth them off. And Pete Buttigieg, I guess he's still over Ukraine getting his glory. He's done nothing for the highways and byways. And yet you vote them in. Because come election, they'll come smiling, or they'll just tell you anything, and you'll fall for it because you're corrupt. The 10 freeway is a busy freeway. They have not done anything in years to make it wider, better, or anything, knowing that our city is overpopulated now with illegal aliens, Allah, Abba people, everybody but white people. What a mess, huh? Washington Times reported Los Angeles motorists should expect traffic indefinitely as a raging fire closed a major elevated interstate near downtown. Officials couldn't offer a timeline for when the highway might reopen. Watch this from KCAL, KCAL and X.
Firefighters say a pallet yard caught fire around 1:45 Saturday morning under the freeway at Alameda and 14th Street.
They got on scene and they found a large 200 by 200 yard of storage, pallets, vehicles, different kind of materials.
It got so hot, another fire started across the street. Nearly 150 firefighters from 26 companies and one helicopter worked throughout the morning dousing the flames with water. The intense heat broke off concrete, melting steel and guardrails.
There was a lot of vehicles where people live, RVs, that were burned. Several of the makeshift homes for the people experiencing homelessness in this area were destroyed.
California Highway Patrol issued a SIG alert shutting down the freeway between the East LA interchange and Alameda Street. Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency. The freeway closure continues to clog up streets like here at 14th and Alameda. Just look at these cars. They're backed up for blocks.
Amazing. I would not, though I don't have any proof at this time, I would not be surprised if it wasn't caused by homeless. These homeless, no good people living on these bridges and highways and byways. Because they could care less. They'll light up a pipe of fentanyl or whatever right in the midst of dry bushes or whatever. Paper around. They don't care. And once they burn down the property, they'll just move to another location. And the representative will come and give you all kind of reasons why that happened, except the truth. And you'll fall for it. We live in a sick. The earth is hell, but it's the hell that's in you. And you're creating the hell on earth. Anyone that has anger, which is hatred, which is judgment, which is playing God, you're living in hell. You're purely living in hell. And you're blind and can't see. You must return to the Father. There's no way around it. You got to work on you, and you can't make someone else want to change or change. You have to leave them in their hell. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, your children, your wife, your husband, your so-called friends, your coworker, your government, or whomever. You got to leave them in their hell. God leave them there. He doesn't force them to overcome. Why should you? You can't change anyone anyway. And the government knows that you are blind and can't see and emotional, so they just tell you anything and you vote them in again. CBS is reporting Gavin Newsom announced Monday afternoon that a preliminary investigation determined the destructive fire was arson and that it was done and set intentionally. So once they tell you that, whether it's true or not, but once they tell you that, don't you forget a bunch of no-good homeless people live on that bridge? That a bunch of no-good homeless people are under the bridge smoking, lighting up all kinds of drugs, drunk, fighting one another and carrying on. And don't you forget that, the government is the one that keep them under the bridge. And you put the blame somewhere else, right? Now you're just thinking arson fire. And when Governor Newsom run again, you got to vote for him. Or Gavin Newsom, whatever his name. You got to vote for him. And he knows it. You know it. And everybody knows it. California is not getting better. It's getting worse because the people of California vote in the same people. Oh, they're a Democrat. I'm just going to vote Democrat. Or they're a Republican. Even though the Republicans are no different than a Democrat, I'm just going to vote for them anyway. I identify as being a Republican or a Democrat, so that's the only way I'm going to vote. Never mind, they're no good. They're doing nothing for the city at all. Zero. Amazing, huh? What's wrong with y'all? Gavin Newsom went over to China, and he had a hootenanny over time. He felt like the president. He felt like he was representing America. And they showed him the wall, the little animals walking up and down the streets. And he felt good. And so he said to the so-called president of China, y'all come on over to my house. And his house, meaning his city, San Francisco, is a mess. Drug addicts, homeless people, everything, dirty street, crime, carjacking, beating up white people, a mess in San Francisco, everywhere really, but especially in San Francisco. And the people like, Gavin, won't you clean it up? Why can't you clean it up? Oh, I will, don't worry about it. Years go by, don't worry. Y'all just keep voting me in, I'll get to it. Y'all keep voting me in, I'll get to it. And when you drive around, make sure you have more than one person in the car with you. Drive in the middle lane. Watch yourself. We're not going to let the police come and help you. But keep voting for me. I'm going to do it right eventually. Okay, they say. And you complain. What are you complaining for? You get the kind of government you vote in. look how the blacks have been voting for the Democrats over the last 70 to 80 years, give or take. And they have gotten nothing from it but free stuff. And that's just enough for them. The Democrats don't feel no ways tired. They go to their churches, they speak like them. I feel no ways tired. I feel like going on. And they applaud, praise Jesus, and they vote for him. And okay, thank y'all for voting for me. Here's some free affirmative action. Here's some free air traffic controller. You don't have to know what you're doing. Just enough to keep you on the plantation. And the blacks keep voting for them. So Gavin Newsom is holding this little event to impress the president of China. The New York Post is reporting drug addicts, dealers, and homeless who have plagued San Francisco downtown have miraculously disappeared this week as the city cleaned up for the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC Summit. Watch it from Fox.
While San Francisco is in the spotlight for the Asia Pacific Economic Conference, city leaders are making sure the city shines.
Tourism is our business here in San Francisco, and we need to focus on making sure that the tourist dollars still come back. The city had gotten a little bit dingy over time.
Scrubbing and power washing is happening all over the city. It's noticeable how clear the streets look and how few homeless encampments there are on major thoroughfares. Just in time for the 20,000 high-profile CEOs and heads of state coming into town next week. Some people say this should be how it's always done.
What about the people who are here year-round, and like local, hardworking, working-class Bay Area folks?
Others welcome the cleanup.
Anything that brings in a positive look on the city of San Francisco is great.
We will continue to do everything we can to maintain cleanliness in our streets.
See how they're lying to you? But they know you're just going to vote for them when this little summit thing is over, because it's all a show. Ain't nothing good coming from it for this country, right? But when it's over, the homeless people will be back. They got them piled up in shelters and deeper down into the neighborhood somewhere so they can look good for cheap. And when it's over, they'll all be right back. And you say, oh, look how dumb those people, oh, nice that the city's looking good. They clean up a little bit. And Gavin Newsom will not clean up for the people who voted for him. And he doesn't have to, because he knows you're dumb enough to keep voting for him. Why should he clean up? It's like a wife that beats her husband or a girlfriend that beats her boyfriend. She beat him because she can get away with beating him. You ain't going nowhere. You're staying and you're going to love it. So why should she continue to beat you? Or a woman that called the police and lied on you. She got mad and told you to leave, but you wouldn't leave. She called the cops and told them made up stuff. And you got thrown out. And she know you're coming right back, so she can do it. Or a man that involved with a woman that was married before and with children, or not married with children. They know you're going to take care of somebody else's child or children. They ain't worried. You coming back. You ain't going nowhere. And they can be as nasty as they want to you because you'll be back. That's how our government is today. They know that you'll be right back to vote for them. You're in and you're out. And it doesn't matter how bad things get for you, the taxes and gasoline prices and the job situation, carjacking. It's so bad in some of the stores now, instead of putting the products on the shelves, they put pictures of the products, toilet paper and things like that. And they know you still gonna vote for them. You're a Democrat, that's all matter to you. You're a Republican, that's all matter. It doesn't matter we have a one-party system. So Gavin Newsom and that stupid black woman there I think she's the mayor or something. Is she the mayor? London Breed, a dumb female. Ain't gonna do nothing. We're gonna try to keep our city clean. Lying to you. And they know you're gonna still vote them in. She a female. Vote for the female. She black. Vote for her because she's black. The New York Post reported among the APEC attendees will be Joe Biden, who will meet with Chinese President. Joe Biden going to be there? Xi Jinping, whatever his name is. Joe Biden might not be sure why he's there. He may not know why he's there, but he'll be there. And somebody has to tell him which direction to go. And you'll vote for him. So you can't blame the government. The people are getting what they voted for. And they love complaining. It's like getting in a bad relationship. You know you're getting into a bad relationship. And you get into it anyway, and then you just complain about it. Here's a video of Gavin Newsom promising to end San Francisco homeless crisis. Watch this from X, a compilation.
And if we're going to solve the problem of those that are out on the streets that we define as homeless, we better solve the housing problem if we're going to have an impact. And that's why we established this framework, what we call a 10-year plan to end chronic homeless in San Francisco.
I always love to say, as California goes, so goes the nation. I mean, we are struggling in this state, housing and homelessness. If we can't solve this encampment issue, if we can't clean up the encampments and address what's happening chronically on our streets, I'm going to be hard-pressed to make a case to the legislature to provide them $1 more. You want to see progress in terms of encampments. You want to see progress in terms of people off the streets. And as the mayor said, you want to see our values represented in that progress. No one's naive. It's not just about sweeping things under the rug or kicking people off the streets and sidewalks and claiming a job well done. That doesn't do justice.
All you have to do is just lie to you like that, and you'll vote for him. You get what you deserve in life, period. So that stupid London Bridge, or whatever name it is, the mayor of San Francisco. She's black. And she's voting in only because she's black, not because she knows what she's doing or care what she's doing. 888-7753, 773-888-77-JESSE. A quick break, back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. (888-7753) 773-888-77-JESSE. It's amazing that Hassan and I were just talking about when they had that dumb Super Bowl thing here in L.A. They cleaned up downtown, and it was amazing. And then as soon as the bowl was over, they brought the homeless back. It was for them. It was for their profit. It was for them and not by you at all. And still you vote for them. Something wrong with you. Just like they cleaned up San Francisco just for the weekend or however long the stupid so-called summit lasted. And the people like, oh, it's so nice they did a little something. They didn't do that for you. And as soon as the event is over, they'll be back. And you'll still vote for them. Come on, man. How can you blame someone else for your life? Couple announcement, the Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11. The Hake report from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And it's Tuesday and every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Joel Friday TV. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. Pacific time Tuesday. And then after Joel Friday TV, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 11 a.m. Pacific time. You don't want to miss it. I mean at 12, sorry. The American Anchor Baby at 12. The American Anchor Baby at 12. And Merry Amazing Christmas. You can get this shirt at rebuildingtheman.com/store. Also, Hake has one. Have an amazing Christmas. Christmas time is coming. They're already selling Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all right now. Amazing.
Amazing Christmas monkeys. Sweet.
Amazing.
I know, that's nice. Super chat. Super chat.
Super chats.
Zuzu CC on bought a coffee.
BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk.
On Friday. Thank you. I think I already read this one. I'm not going to read it again. Jay Morales bought 33 coffees. Good morning. Smiley face emoji. Nice.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you, CR.
And very generous Jay Morales. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
My close and personal friend Jib Jab, stop me if I said this already, bought a coffee. I have a biblical question for you, Jesse. You ready? Here it comes. Who let the dogs out?
Amazing. Thank you.
I read that already.
And kind of sound for me? I'm not sure though.
Yeah. Shama Craft said, y'all need more whites over there to keep the radio station working right. $ eyes, $ tongue sticking out. Thank you.
Yeah, make sure you donate to help us keep it going. Rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Thank you all.
Someone bought a coffee. Jorge. Hey, Jesse, I find myself running to the Father again and again and again doing the silent prayer no matter what happens, no matter how hard it gets. I see my heart. He is my surgeon, and the Father is my only friend. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your wisdom, and God bless and the team.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Alex bought 30 coffees. Very generous. Thank you, Jesse, for your tireless effort in speaking the truth. Amazing to see and hear a son of God, and the true energy that comes from God is with you. Just a thank you for all the help in the truth and forgiveness and returning to our God the Father. Amazing.
Amazing. You're welcome. Thank you.
Someone bought you a coffee. I just watched an old church service about forgive them. They know not what they do. During the service, you discussed how people know when they are wrong, which is why they tend to get mad or have excuses for their wrong behavior. On the flip side, when you know you're right, do you agree that the devil can begin to work overtime to cause you to doubt yourself? Any thoughts?
Well, if you know you're right, if you understand you're right, then the devil cannot get in. It's only when you doubt being right. But when you can see it, there's no room for the devil. What the? Thank you.
Evgeny Crosby with a diamond on Sunday. Church with Jesse Lee Peterson in one word, amazing.
It was an amazing fellowship last Sunday. And if you were not there or was not watching it live, go to rebuildingtheman.com. You can podcast rebuildingtheman.com/church. It was mind-blowing. The only reason you don't get better with these meetings is that you don't want to. You can't blame anyone else. You're just not ready. Amazing. Thank you.
I love Jesse bought a coffee. Hi, Jesse. I am having some issues with silent prayer and would like your advice on what to do. I'm a stay-at-home mother, so when I do the silent prayer, 99% of the time I go in the room while the girls are sleeping, as I can't watch them on their baby monitor. I keep getting interrupted with loud whispers of my daughter saying, "Mama, Mama," as if she woke up. I quickly open my eyes only to see both daughters sleeping. This honestly gets to me and is a bit scary for me, so I stop. Should I just keep doing it even if I keep hearing these quote-unquote voices? Smiley face emoji, thank you for all you do. You're a wonderful man.
Well, I don't know about the voices. I will have to talk to you more, but just sit and watch. And if your kids are in the other room and maybe awake, you want to know that, don't make it a big deal if you have to open your eyes just for a second. And just watch. I wish you well. And if you have further questions about that, call me. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Thank you.
Piotr Robel bought 5 coffees. Thank you, Jesse, and the team for the best fellowship on this side of heaven. Amazing.
Amazing.
Danny Moore bought a coffee. Hi, Jesse and the lads. I'm a personal trainer and I work with women, and I can see the evil in them constantly. Should I speak up when they talk evil, but there's a good chance they won't come back and I'll lose money? Am I putting money over what is right? Keep up the amazing work, lads. Strong arm emoji.
Amazing. Can you show where's the strong arm?
That's cold. Where's get a job when you need them? Savage moments.
No, I mean, let them stay in their hell. Your company, you have your company, your job to make money, to earn a living, to survive in a practical way on earth. You're not there to preach to them. People love their hell. So let them stay in their hell. Don't get angry. Don't judge them. You just do your job and go home or wherever you go. So, no, leave them alone.
Henry Ford lives.
You're not a preacher at work. You're a businessman. Thank you.
Speaking of Henry Ford, he bought a diamond, black excellence and stuff. Well, he didn't say stuff. He said something else.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This is from yesterday, I think. Being enlightened till I rise. Oh, man, young Jesse in the house. Because we did replays with from 2006 in the year 2000.
Oh.
Yesterday.
Amazing. Thank you.
During the studio issues. Urinal chills with a couple of Rumble rants. Blats out of control, yelling over each other. LOL. Some stereotypes fit. There was this gal named Liz who was talking over you like a mug.
What's wrong with the blacks?
In the year 2000 on Fox News.
Amazing.
MPAC. We're changing how Americans view Islam and Muslims, says Prepham Paul. You interviewed some people from MPAC over the years. Muslim something.
Amazing. Thank you.
Political Action Committee. Gregatron bought a coffee. Happy Monday, everybody. This is yesterday. Church was great yesterday. It's the second Monday of the month. I call it Enter the Maze Monday. Also, a little tip on a movie for you guys. Pretty funny. I think you'll like it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Shama Craft bought 3 coffees. Or Chama Craft, 3 coffees. Show started going 90 miles per hour north, then went right off a cliff. We just going to donate so Jesse can afford the whites to work for him. $ eyes and tongue emojis.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Rebuildingtheman.com. You can donate there or call 800-411-BOND. 800-411-2663. And we'll attach it up so it's a write-off for you.
Danny, with I spelled I-E, bought a coffee. Would it be wrong for me to ask someone who has a public platform to address gossip about themselves, or should I just mind my own business?
It ain't your business at all. Stay out of other people's business. You just want a thrill from it. That's why you want to ask. What,
Evgeny Crosby with a diamond. Replays with Jesse Lee Peterson in one word, amazing.
Amazing. Thank you.
Someone bought a coffee. Jesse, your commentary on both the bridge fire and the next California gubernatorial election sound like you are living in your imagination. Have a wait-and-see attitude until the facts come out about the fire, and wait until the election actually happens to see how it turns out. Stay out of your thoughts. Sounds ridiculous, right? I rest my case.
Amazing. Gavin Newsom's been voted in over and over again. He had done nothing to make the state better. If anything, he'd done everything to make sure it's worse. And he just go on TV and tell you anything, and you keep voting for him. I don't need to wait for that. The people in California have been voting for the Democrats over and over for years. Why do I need to wait to see anything differently? Amazing. Thank you, though.
And thank you, guys. That's all for now.
Amazing. Thank you. Amazing. Mind blowing. Let me go to, there's a line open, 888-7753-773. First time caller out of New Jersey, Jason. Jason, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how's it going, Jesse?
All is well.
Great, great. So I just had a quick question. I struggle with the silent prayer and also at work. Some things are happening where I don't want to push myself towards saying it's racism, but then I am, and I'm like back and forth. So I'm just wondering, what do you suggest? Should I just stick to the silent prayer and just stop letting the thoughts get to me?
And so, I'm sorry, what happened?
Yeah, so things at work. So different actions, different situations at work. What I feel like is because I'm a black male. But at times I don't want to think that's the reason, but then it's kind of in my face where it feels like that's the reason. But I'm fighting it because I don't think, because I'm kind of like you, I don't believe in racism, but then things are happening where I see it there, so I'm struggling with that.
If you don't believe in racism, that racism exists and it doesn't, how can you see it if you know it doesn't exist?
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, that was a question.
Oh, sorry. Well, what you're saying makes sense. So I guess what I'm seeing...
That was a question.
Like,
if you don't believe racism exists, how can you believe you're seeing it?
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that.
And so what's happening to you at work that makes you want to see racism?
Well, like rumors. So there's things I could be sitting down on my computer working, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, Jason's over there jumping up and down." I'm like, "No, I'm not." So that's just like a rough example, but just multiple rumors about me. I'll take some time off, come back. They're saying I'm dating someone who I'm not talking to.
But why would you think that's racism, though?
Because the only reason I think that because there's nothing else like I'm doing for them to think that. Like I'm not having an argument with anybody.
You don't need to be doing anything. You have to realize that human beings are evil, and their hearts are wicked, and they got to find something to keep their egos feeling excited so they can feel alive. So why even pay any attention at all? It's happening to them in their world. It has nothing to do with you. Why do you give it any attention?
Yeah, I think I give it attention because sometimes it kind of hurts my ego.
And so why not be glad to see that so you can overcome your ego?
Okay, that's something I can do.
I'm sorry?
That's something I can do.
Yeah, don't complain about it. Just notice that for some reason you are feeling something that's happening outside of you, inside of others, when it has nothing to do with you at all. And so instead of complaining, watch the thoughts and feelings inside of you so you can overcome the world. Because if those feelings were not there, or thoughts were not there, there's nothing that another human being can do or say to make you feel anything inside of your world.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
No, I'm not.
Well, then, what? And if you are pretending to be working on yourself, you want to overcome the world, why aren't you doing the thing that would help you or cause you to overcome the world?
I think I just have to kind of organize and manage my time better because I wake up early in the morning. So I just have to wake up a little bit earlier and do that.
What time you wake up?
Like 5 o'clock, 5:30.
And so 5 o'clock is too early to wake up to do the silent prayer. You can't wake up a little bit before that?
I can. So I'm going to have to adjust and wake up sooner now.
How serious are you about overcoming the hell that's inside of you? Because all of your issues are inside of you. Your issues are not inside of someone else. Their issues are inside of them, and they're trying to get a reaction from you so they can feel alive. How serious are you into overcoming the world?
I'm very serious about it.
Then if you're that serious, you'll wake up and do the silent prayer.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, do the silent prayer. And whatever somebody else is doing, give it no attention at all because it has nothing to do with you. It's all about themselves. They're unhappy.
Okay, I appreciate that, Jesse. Thank you.
You're welcome. And doubt every thought.
Will do.
All right, buddy. Amazing. 888-775-3773. I got to type a note. Okay, there's a line open for, let me go, let's see. Aman, been waiting a long time out of India. Aman, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
All is well.
I had a question regarding silent prayer.
Okay.
Since you told on the video that was, you said you awaken at the age of 38 or something, and
you said what now?
Question was,
what was it? What did you say?
I said that in the videos, you said you awakened at the age of 38.
All right.
And and my question was, since you found the silent prayer, you started doing the silent prayer, when did you realize that the thoughts comes from the middle of the forehead? In silent prayer, you say the thoughts come from the middle of the forehead. When did you realize that, and how did you find it out?
When you step back, when I asked God to let me see, He allowed me to see that anger was in my heart that was holding me back from Him, from freedom, from having peace. So I went and forgave. And then He allowed me to see that the thoughts that I was having, emotions, are not my own. And the more I paid attention to that, it became and is becoming clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer that you must die from thoughts, and you want a no-thought life. So just stay with it, and don't worry about the time. Don't worry about when it'll be over. If you stop worrying about other things or giving those things any thoughts at all, you'll be free immediately. Because in God, there is no thinking. People who think about God is of their father, the devil. It's just a thought.
Okay.
Amazing. So stay with it. Let me go to thank you, Emma. Let me go to Shannon, a first-time call out of South Carolina. Thank you, Emma. Shannon, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you today?
All is well, Shannon. Amazing.
So I had a quick question. So I have a sibling that had me sent to the psych ward because I won't listen to what she says. She's trying to control my life. And she's a social worker. So when the mobile crisis unit came to the house, they believed her. And basically, they weren't listening to me. And they tried to diagnose me with something that I don't have. Because like I said, she was making up scenarios. So I just wanted to know your advice on that. I was just thinking that maybe I'm just going to move away.
How old are you?
After I get I'm 27.
And this is your sister, you say?
Yes.
Why are you living with your sister?
because my dad like financially supports me right now.
Your father supports you?
Yeah.
And you're not able to work for it and take care of yourself?
I've been trying to get a job because like I moved away from them, but then my dad wanted me to come back. They wanted me to come back. Yeah.
And he said, if you come back, I'll take care of you?
Yes.
And why would you give up your life for something like that?
Something told me not to do it, but I don't know.
Why did you give up? Why would you give up your life because somebody said, I'll take care of you?
Because I've been with them for a long time, and I wasn't putting myself first.
And why not?
Yeah, I made a wrong decision, and I knew I was making a wrong decision when I came back.
And how long?
Like in that very moment.
And why do you turn right around once you realize, you know what? I just made a bad decision. Let me get out of here. Why do you turn around right then when you realize that you have made a mistake?
Maybe I was doubting myself.
Were you?
I think so.
Can you hold for me?
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a break. I'll come back to you after this break. 888-7753, 773-888-77-JESSE. 2 more hours to go. Hake is coming in with the Hake. H-A-K-E news, not the fake news, but the Hake news. And I'll be back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married, and the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good, or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
We don't have a high-trust society anymore. Isn't that true? And the best, most honest so-called Supreme Court justices are under attack for suspect integrity. And astronauts lost a tool bag in space. Women. I'm James Hake. This is the end of hour one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Country and Western Tuesday, November 14th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour 2. JLP will be right back to your calls. There is one line open. But first, Hake news on fake news. Call Me Nonsense Network CNN reports large stores, including Walmart and Costco, are rethinking self-checkout lanes due to widespread customer complaints and escalating retail crime. This comes as many U.S. chains have already tried to tighten security features at self-checkouts, but shoplifters are still managing to take advantage of the lax oversight. Evil, corrupt people, not very high trust. The best, most honest Supreme Court officially has a code of ethics for the first time in history, in attempt to address ethics fake concerns. Up until yesterday, it was the only federal judiciary court that didn't have an ethics code of conduct. Reports earlier this year sparked scrutiny of the High Court after revealing that Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito, the two best ones, filled with the most integrity, accepted luxury trips from GOP megadonors and conservative activists, most after months of corrupt hit pieces of fake news stories alleging that those conservative justices accepted lavish gifts and took part in other controversial, meaning fine, off-bench activities. Reports also of how Justice Sonia Sotomayor used taxpayer paid staff to secure book sales also raised eyebrows. Cue the corrupt Senate Judiciary Committee's investigation into the Supreme Court's ethics practices. Now, Supreme Court says the Code of Ethics addresses the misunderstanding that justices regard themselves as unrestricted by any ethics rules. The 9-page code, CNN calls it 14-page document, outlines 5 rules. Among them, justices can't use their title or prestige to advance the private interests of the justices or others. The justices also have to keep their relationships, like family and financial, from influencing their conduct or judgment, which Clarence Thomas already does, obviously. In cases where impartiality might reasonably be questioned, the justices must recuse themselves. Some experts say the new Code of Ethics doesn't go far enough. The rules aren't necessarily new. Judges in lower courts already follow them. Unclear who would hold the high court accountable or investigate ethics lapses. It's a self-imposed code, I guess. Senator Dick Durbin, corrupt demon rat from Illinois, says the rules fall short. He falls short. He says he'll continue to review the code to see if it meets Senate Judiciary Committee's standards. Senator Ted Cruz, Republican from Texas. Well, he's actually from Calgary, Canada, right? A member of the committee reportedly said the only thing that makes some Democrats happy is if every conservative justice resigned en masse. And he's right about that. Before the Supreme Court returns for its new term or returned, a dumb poll found public trust and approval of the court standing near record lows. We have the most divided and corrupt country ever, if you know about that. Mostly evil people approve mostly evil. Without any charity or clarity on how justices will be held accountable, some say the new code of conduct could be just optics. So anyway, astronauts accidentally lost a tool bag during the ISS, International Space Station, spacewalk. A tool bag is now floating through the supposedly infinite abyss of space after a maintenance blunder outside the International Space Station. And it was 2 women doing a spacewalk. Women astronauts. Great one. Clumsy, dumb women. Large crowds expected a pro-Israel protest in Washington, D.C. Tens of thousands of people expected to participate in a pro-Israel demonstration at the National Mall in Washington, D.C. to condemn the rise in anti-Semitic incidents. Like that's going to stop the people who are hating. Give me a break. It's only going to spread it. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
Got to stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
I did not know it was 2 women astronauts that lost the tool bag in outer space. And I've been hearing that news for a minute now on Fox News and other places. They never mentioned it was 2 women. I guarantee you, had it been 2 white men, they would have said it fast. 2 white males lost the tools in outer space. Or if the women had found the tools, lost tools in outer space, 2 women found, for the first time ever, found tools in outer space. There'll be headline. What? No, they never said it was women. I told y'all, women that got them up there trying to fix something. What the? Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Justin Lee Peterson. Thank you, Bill. My headset sounds so much better. What the? Welcome to the show. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question, have you ever and can you ever solve a non-practical problem by thinking about it? Have you ever and can you ever solve a non-practical problem by thinking about it? Amazing question. A lot of folks be trying to think their way out. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad anywhere in the whole round world. And if you're a flat earther, anywhere in the whole up and down the world. On your iPhone or iPad, if you're too busy to sit and watch the show as it is happening, you can podcast. But you can podcast the show later, but you can be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Follow us on cozy.tv/JLP. Cozy. COZY.tv/JLP and JLP Talk on X. And to come in and have your donate and have your comments read out loud, go to rebuildingtheman.com/store. No, just rebuildingtheman.com or buymeacoffee.com/Jesse Lee Peterson or JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. It's Tuesday. It's the second hour of the day of the show. And every Tuesday is, this is Trump, Country and Western Tuesday.
All my thoughts, well, they've all been lies. They let me down every single time because the devil's been making homes inside my head. The good, the bad, the glad, the sad. If I could let them all go and give them to God, well, maybe he'd take this anger from my soul. And I'd shine like a light that's too bright to see. And I could lean on God so he could lean on me. Forgiveness, righteous, perfect peace.
Amazing. That was done by Pete from Alaska. Amazing. Thank you, Pete. Amazing, man. Joel Friday, I believe it was Joel. Yeah, Joel showed me either an ad or a video or something yesterday of some woman that called herself a psychic animal woman. And what she does is she tell the folks to bring your animals to me, your dog and your snakes and your rats and everything to her, I guess rats. And she is psychic what they are feeling. Or they, I guess, communicate with her. And she is booked up for years. And she charged $550. Now, human beings, y'all know y'all crazy.
What the?
You're going to take an animal to a woman who says she's psychic, and you're going to pay $550 because it's supposed to go through, I guess, the psychic feeling of a dog or a snake or whatever it is, go through her, and she tell you, oh, this is what's going on. Okay, give me your $550. Come on, man! How come you don't know something wrong with that? She has a waiting list of 7,000 people, according to Joy Friday. How come y'all don't know something wrong with you? Your animals don't feel any emotion for you one iota. Those are your feelings in your animal state. Animals don't feel all love for you. They can care less. Lord, you throw them a piece of bread and let them urinate in your bed, they're just fine. And they know you feel something for them, but they ain't feeling nothing for you. She has a waiting list of 7,000 people that are willing to pay $550 to have her do a little psychic reading of an animal. Talk about being in an animal-like state. Her son said, I need her information. I bet you do. She need to be reading the psychic mind of the people. What the? Anyway, let me go back to Shannon. 888-775-3773. Shannon is the first time call. I had to put on hold there. And her father, she had moved away from her family, of course, Shannon. Her father said, come back and stay with your sister and I'll take care of you. Shannon went back. She knew right away she should not have done that. And apparently, according to Shannon, her sister had her committed. Am I right, Shannon?
Yes.
And why did your sister have you committed?
Because she's trying to control me.
Speak up for me.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Because she's trying to control me, like to have me do whatever she says, and I'm telling her, no, I don't want to do that.
And why would you realize your father told you if you go live with your sister, I'll take care of you?
We all live together.
Your father too?
Mm-hmm.
So you live with your father and mother?
No, my mom passed away.
So your father, your sisters, and your father want to take care of you?
Mm-hmm.
Why would he offer you something like that?
Because he didn't want me to leave. I'm not sure.
When you ask him why would he make that kind of offer to you, what did he say?
He basically tried to say, like, the world's a dangerous place and that I need to be home.
And what did he say when your sister had you committed?
He didn't really know what was going on. Like, but he kind of went along with it.
And so what is keeping you there now?
Because I have to try to figure out where I'm going to go.
Oh, I see. And your question for me is what?
That they believe, like the people at the psych ward believe what my sister said, which isn't the truth. And now they're trying to have me, like, they try to diagnose me with something that's not what I am. So I'm trying to figure out how to navigate that to get them to drop that, because I don't have that. Like, I read the notes and it wasn't true.
Are you back at home or are you in a psych ward now?
Oh, I'm home now.
Oh, I see.
They couldn't keep me because there's nothing, you know what I mean? It was, yeah.
And so what would happen if you moved on with your life? You moved away, got yourself a job, and did your own thing. What would happen?
That's what I'm planning on doing. But I feel like they're going to try to, like, put out, like, a missing persons on me because I've been so-called you know what I mean? But I'm still going to do it because I'm not going to have that, like, mess up my life.
So, if you can, what are you doing or saying that made your sister even think that she needed to commit you?
Because I'm not dealing with her because she like assaulted me. And also because
No, go ahead.
And also because I go where I want to go and I don't like really to tell them anything, and they're trying to have me to tell them where I'm going and all that, and I'm like, I'm an adult, so I don't have to do that. You know what I mean?
But why
Trying to control me.
Why do they if what you're saying is true, why are they so desperately trying to control you?
Because I always because I'm always saying no. And and like I said before, I tried to leave, no one in my family has done that.
You tried to leave and what happened?
I said, I think they tried to do that because I've always been here, and then I tried to leave.
And you tried to leave and what happened?
And I had to come back. So I feel and I don't want to leave again. So I feel that's why they're trying to do that.
Oh, and why do you have to come back? You keep coming back?
I'm not going to come back when I do leave.
Here's what I recommend. Have you heard me say to forgive your parents?
Yeah.
Have you forgiven your father for what you're saying that he's trying to control you with money and all that?
Oh, yeah. I already forgave him.
You told him?
I'm not mad. Yeah.
And are you mad at your sister?
Well, I'd say that not mad, but just weird because, why would you try to control me? You know what I mean? Just that. I don't try to do that to anybody else.
So you're mad at her for trying to control you?
I'm not mad.
What do you call it?
I just find it odd.
Well, that's how the world operates. Angry people are always trying to control someone. Because angry people are very insecure. They have no life, real life. They have no energy within themselves. So they're always trying to control someone. But it's up to the individual, adult individual, to allow someone else to control them. You have to be responsible for your own life.
How do I advocate for myself with the mental health workers when she basically tried to paint the scenario how it wasn't?
Repeat that.
I said, you're right, but how am I supposed to advocate for myself when she painted the situation to the mental health people in a way that it wasn't, and they were on her side?
But I don't understand. You're a grown woman. Can the mental health people make you do what you don't want to do?
Yeah, they called the police and everything because my sister tried to say I was a danger to myself and others.
And what did you do for your sister, or did you do anything for her to say you are in danger to yourself? What did you do?
No, I didn't do anything.
You just sit at home, eat some popcorn, and she just said it for no reason?
Yeah.
She just said that you were doing absolutely nothing.
Remember I told you I would come in at nighttime. So I guess maybe that's why she thinks I'm a danger to others. I'm not sure, but that has nothing to do with anything because I could go where I please.
You can go what?
I said I could come back when I want to, in the nighttime. So maybe because I'm coming home, you know what I mean?
And how are you a danger to others because you're coming home at night?
Exactly.
No, that was a question.
Oh, I'm not. That's what was said to the mental health worker.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
No.
And why not?
Because I don't know how to do it.
I want you to go to rebuildingaman.com, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. I want you to start doing that so that you can see your way out of this situation, because I don't quite understand what's going on and why this is happening, so I can't give you my best advice because it's not clear. Maybe if I can talk to your sister to find out why she's doing it to you, and you were there, maybe that would help me. But do the silent prayer, relax, do the silent prayer, and if you stay with it, you'll see your way out of this situation. But,
all right, maybe that's cleared up. Mm-hmm.
But don't be angry at your sister, your daddy, or anyone, because you are responsible for your own life, and you can't blame anyone else. But do the silent prayer so you can see what to do in this situation.
Okay. All right, one more thing.
Do you have a job?
I'm looking for one.
Okay, well, and then find yourself a job, and you start to, this situation will work out. I don't understand what's going on. It's not clear. But it'll work out whatever it is that's happening. Find your job, go to work, do the prayer, stay present, and you will see things will work out.
Okay.
You say you had one more question?
Yeah. And I also want to point out that, like, she threatened me also.
She threatened you?
Yeah.
In what way?
When I was coming inside, I didn't lock the door because I had to go back upstairs to get something. And then she said, if you don't lock the door, I'm going to make you very uncomfortable. And then, like, the next day, she called those people.
Did anyone hear her say those things to you?
Yeah.
Who heard her say those things?
My brother and I think her boyfriend.
And will they be a witness for you that she said that?
No, they're scared of her.
Oh. And so your question for me about that is what?
Why would she do that?
I don't know. I would have to talk to her. I have no idea. Because the whole thing is not quite clear, so it's not clear. That's why I'm telling you for now, relax, do the silent prayer. If you're able to work, find yourself a job, and one thing will lead to another one, all right?
Okay.
Let me know how it goes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. It's not clear. It just feel like information missing. 888-77-53773. Jensen out of Arizona. Jensen, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Jensen.
How you doing?
All is well, sir.
All right. Well, so I just want to follow you up. I've talked to you before regarding my situation. I'm going through a separation after 20 years marriage with my wife. I have 2 sons from her, and about 2 years that we've been separated now. But I had called you before regarding this issue where my son had contacted me regarding my grandfather's funeral. And I wasn't going to go, made the decision I wasn't going to go, and I didn't go. And come to find out that my sons did attend the funeral, which is, I'm totally fine with. But what I really don't understand is why my wife would attend the funeral services for my grandfather during our separation, when she's the one that initiated the separation. And she is, I believe she's continuing to speak with my mother, in which I had blocked my mother about for a little while now. I disconnected, communication with my mother, so I don't talk to her, but because she was interfering with my marriage and separation. I want to get your advice, and my question is, I've been watching my thoughts and over this past week, and I didn't find out that she attended the services until a couple of days ago. But I've been watching my thoughts and been watching them and just, not overreacting, but observing them. But my question is for you is how I go about this as far as, I don't know. It's just, it really, my mind takes over, and it's just, the thing that comes to my mind is why. Why would she attend the services when she's the one that initiated service, the separation? And I still don't know why she hasn't filed for divorce. But it's like you say, like they created an army against you and happened to turn my own mother against me. But it's not just turning my mother and my family against me. It's just, how she's going about it. Like nothing's ever happened. Like, I don't know if I need to try to contact her, because she's the one that ghosted me and cut off communication. My wife did with me, and so she doesn't talk to me. So should I try to reach out to her through my sons and tell her to call me? Hey, we need to talk.
And talk about what?
Like what's going on? Why is she still, why is she going to my family's?
But one thing I want to tell you, you can't blame her for your family turning against you. Your family was evil, or is evil, if what you're saying is true, because they had no business taking sides at all. It had nothing to do with them. They had no business taking sides, and you should be glad to see that your family are evil, and then seeing that this woman is evil, and give it no more thought and just move on with your life. Why are there any concern about what they're doing, period? Why not just go live your life?
And I have.
But why are you even thinking about whether she went to the funeral or not? You didn't go, so it shouldn't matter whether she went or not. It shouldn't even be any concern. Or I need to call her to tell her to don't be going to the funeral or whatever, right? Why not just give her the finger, move on with your life, your whole family?
That's what I've been thinking.
But why aren't you doing it that way?
I have, but I just need to get confirmation from you, I guess.
What type of confirmation?
Give the finger part, probably. But yeah, I mean, I just need clarification. I mean, I know my thoughts. It's just your thoughts are not. I know my thoughts aren't my thoughts, and they do take over at times, and I do need to get in that silent prayer.
You're not doing the prayer?
I am morning, but not every night.
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
No.
It's so interesting to me is that people pretend they want to be helped, they want to overcome their hell, and you tell them the source, you point them to the source, and only the source, to Jesse Peterson or no one else. Nothing physical can help you, or no one physical, to overcome, but you won't go to the source. I had to go to the source. I stay with the source because I know there's nothing anyone can do. Why don't you, if you're sick of your hell and that is the way out of the hell, why don't you go to the source by being still and knowing God?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that, Jesse.
So are you really ready to have a perfect peace, a perfect peaceful life here on earth, or you still kind of love your hell?
I would say that I still kind of love my hell, but I'm working on it. I am like.
How are you working on it? How are you working on it, and you're not praying without ceasing?
By just focusing on myself right now.
But how are you working on spiritual issues if you're not praying without ceasing?
I guess you're not.
And then why did you say that you are when you know you're not?
My mind probably told me. It's probably telling me other ways. The mind's a funny thing. It makes you.
The thoughts are evil. The mind is evil.
Yeah.
There's no truth in thoughts. and some practical thoughts about going to work and stuff, but there's no truth in thoughts at all.
Yeah.
It's nothing but evil death. It's only death. There's no life in thoughts.
Yeah. It boggles my mind to where when I talk to my family, my cousin that went to the funeral, he said, like she was laughing, she was talking to my mom and just acting like, I guess nothing has happened. She even attended the reception afterward and, was laughing with my family and all that. And I just don't get it.
What's your purpose what's your purpose for allowing him, your cousin, him or her, to bring you information like that? Why would you even allow someone to have a conversation with you about her, period?
Because I asked him, and
why did you ask?
I trust his input, what he says.
And why did you ask?
Because I'm curious. Because I don't know what to do, Jesse, as far as going on with my separation and going through the divorce, or is it mind games that she's playing? But I really guess I don't really know the answer.
It doesn't matter what she wants, man. It's you. And what do you want? Do you want a divorce? Get a divorce. Do you want to go through your hell? Go through your hell. Why are you giving it a second thought about what she wants?
Yeah.
No, that was a question.
I guess I shouldn't.
But why are you though? You said she left you. She's the one that wanted a divorce. Why are you even wasting 1 iota of a time or minute thinking about her, what she wants, what she's doing, and when we should do this or that? Why are you doing that? Tell me that.
I don't know. It's just the family thing, like being married 20 years and having 2 sons from her. It's hard to let go.
Why?
Yeah. That's why? Yeah.
No, that was a question.
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know, Jesse, but yeah, that is a good question, and I shouldn't pay no attention to it because, she initiated it. She wanted this.
And so why you say, that was a family. I had 2 sons with her. Why?
I don't have that answer, Jesse. I just,
But why don't you work on yourself by doing the silent prayer so you can see the hell that's in you that have you stuck on stupid stuff like that?
Yeah.
No, that was a question.
I don't know. I'm still seeking answers, Jesse. That's why I guess I called you to get more clarification.
But the answers are inside of you, and the light will guide you if you were to let the light guide you. Welcome the light by being still, and he will guide you. Hold on. Can you hold?
Yeah, I can hold.
All right, hold on. Let me take a break. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. a spiritual battle. 888-7753-773. The Women's Forum this Thursday night, ladies. Man, Billy, thank you for adjusting my mic, man. It's so clear now. My engineer, I'm talking to my engineer. Women's Forum every third Thursday night. And I have to tell you, ladies who have not attended yet, because they're not taped or recorded, videotaped or recorded, anything, they stay private. We had the Women's Forum last month, if I can just consciously remind you. It was amazing. It was deep. It was so deep. Ladies are overcoming. They, too, are paying attention to the hell that's in them, and as a result, they're overcoming it. And they're so honest about it. It's deep. And you know how hard it is for women to be honest? These ladies want out of the hell. So this Thursday night, the third Thursday night for ladies only, first Thursday night for men only, and Sunday morning for everybody, as the blacks would say, and they mama. Did you know the blacks say and they mama instead of their mama?
I do.
And white people say and their mama and their mothers. But the black people say and they. How come black people say and they when it's their?
I don't know. I say they too, so.
You think you black. That's why, Lord. You think you Jew? You think you black? You think you Allah Uaba? You don't know who you are.
I gotta be covered.
Poor Sandy. Or Sandman, whatever.
He's gotta go to that psychic lady.
I'm telling you. If any animal need that psychic lady, Sandy need it. Mr. Hola, Mamma Mia. Anyway, we have the best counseling service on this side of heaven, individual, family, couples, or whatever. Go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-BOND. 800-411-2663 to make an appointment. And be patient. The schedule is just booked. But we will get to you, so don't yell at the schedule. I want it now. Why I got to wait a week? And if anyone should reschedule or anything, we'll let you know. Rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-BOND. And by phone, Skype, or walk-in. All right? One other quick thing is, it's the end of the year. We are 503c1, so your donations to the nonprofit organization is tax deductible. Go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-BOND. No matter if it's land, gold, cash, or whatever. We got a lot of work to do, and thank you for helping us to help others. And especially the people who are getting help. Thank you for giving back. Let me go quickly back to Jason. And Jason X went to the funeral of Jason's grandfather. His mother is taking her side, according to Jason. He has 2 sons with this woman. And Jason refused to let go and move on. And Jason, you don't know why. Somebody came back from the funeral and told you she was there. She was grinning, acting like nothing was wrong. Why did you allow that person to have that conversation with you?
Because I reached out to him, and that's what they told me.
And why did you reach out?
Because I really wanted to know.
Why?
Maybe to find some closure.
But that didn't find closure. That opened it up more for you. The thrill of that made you angry and desperate even more so. It didn't close anything. It's opened up hell wider for you.
Yeah.
So what type of closure were you referring to?
I guess it maybe led me to call you.
Closure
I needed the JLP closure.
Closure is a liberal word that women use. And when they say, "Oh, I want closure," what they really said, "I want more hell." That's why they seek hell. They love it. So you love the thrill of hearing that this woman hanging out with your mama. She went to your granddad's funeral. You love all that because if you didn't, you would move on with your life and never even think about her.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right, what?
I got to move on. Yeah. I need to stop thinking about this.
And then your mother is evil. She joined forces with this woman that is no longer your wife. Your mother is a wicked woman too. You should be glad to see that and give her the finger.
Well, she still is my wife legally. We're just not legally separated. We're separated, but we're still legally married. But we're just
and
separated.
why do you stay? How long has she been gone?
A year and 8 months.
Why don't you get a divorce so fast and make her head swim?
I'm thinking about it.
Why have you done it already? She left
money,
you, right?
Yeah.
She left you?
Yeah.
A man should never take a woman back that leaves him. Because when you take her back, all you're doing is building her ego. She's going to leave you again. And if you take her back, she's going to make you lick boots to keep her.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Because you're feeding the evil spirit in the woman. Or spirits.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not going to go back licking boots. I'm not doing that.
So then why have you divorced this woman and moved on?
I don't know, but I think I will get the process started.
Why?
To move on.
And why did you need me to tell you that? Or ask why have you done that?
I guess I didn't need to. But it's just the to get the clarification from somebody that like you that I do highly respect, and there's like very many people that I highly respect.
But the woman left you a year and a half ago, right?
Yeah.
She took your boys with you, right? With her, right?
Yeah.
She joined forces with your mama against you, right?
Yeah.
What is there to clarify?
Nothing.
And you're not doing the prayer, am I right? I forgot what you said about that.
I said morning, but not every night, yeah.
And so when you're sick of your hell, I promise you'll overcome it. But as long as you keep one foot in hell and think you have another one in heaven, you're going to be having the problem that you're having. You either have to go all the way out of your hell or you stay in hell. And it sounds like you still love your hell because you call this person. Was she at the funeral? Did she talk to my mama? You went looking for misery.
Yeah, you might be right.
Those people are not your family anymore, man. And they never were, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I've been telling myself, I guess, I have my sons, and when they're ready to reach out and start talking to me, that's, I'm always here. They know my number.
Right, and you know that they do, so forget about them and move on with your life. How old are they?
21 and 19. They're grown now.
Move on with your life, man.
Yeah, I was there for them, for all the way to 18, so, I put them through.
There's no more you can do.
Yeah, you're right.
Leave them in their hell, and if they want to overcome it, let them overcome it. If not, don't worry about it. You live your life. You're responsible for you. You're not responsible for them or anyone else. And no one else is responsible for you.
Yep, I know.
But yet you won't do the prayer so that the Father can help you overcome the evil that's in your mind and body.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah.
But you won't. You'd rather call up a relative. Was she at the funeral? Was she acting like nothing wrong?
I like the way you do that. That's good, Jesse. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay. I like that.
You love that pain. That's why you call asking for it. You call that family member, whoever told you that. You wanted the thrill of it. You wanted the pain. And then you're like, oh, Lord, what should I do? Should I go back? Should I just... Stop it, man. Forget about that woman.
Yeah. I mean, she if she went to support my sons for whatever or to say her bad goodbyes, that's none of my business. I don't care.
It's not even for you to give one iota of a thought to, period.
Yeah.
And how's she going to support your son? The man is dead. What kind of support is she going to get by being at a funeral? That's not helping them, not doing anything for them at all. It's all for her own ego.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. A lot, I see that with the, yeah, I can see that. Even my mom, it's only for her own ego.
100%. Your mother don't care about anyone but herself. And nor does your ex-wife and your children and no one else. Human beings do not love one another. Human beings hate one another. They don't have the capability of loving, and they hate, and they call it love.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate that they put those false hopes in my son's minds,
Who put what false hope in his mind?
My wife and my soon-to-be ex-wife and my mother.
What false hope?
Just keeping them around and like, oh yeah, kind of give them that your father will come back type of feeling.
Move on, Jason. Live your life. He's grown now.
Yes, sir.
Ain't nothing you can do about it. If and when he call you or talk to you, just be honest with him. Don't be angry. Don't be asking about your mama or his mama or anybody else's mama. You have a grown-up conversation with him. You live your life.
All right. Yes, sir.
And do the silent prayer. Do what you want, but I recommend the silent prayer. Not stay in your hell. And you got to stop believing thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything.
Yes, sir.
I wish you well, man. Let me know how it goes.
Thank you, Jesse. You too. Wish you all well.
Thank you, buddy. Okay. Amazing. Casey is there's a line 888-7753-773. Casey, a first-time caller out of Louisiana.
Mr. Jesse.
Hey, Casey.
Oh, I'm glad to be talking to you. Let me tell you what, this show, I've only really been on to your show for maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
And man, it's been a real blessing. It's been a real eye-opener.
Welcome.
Listen, this year I've been thinking about it, and I've been thinking about it more and more now since I've been watching your show, is, overcoming our emotions, not being emotional. That's the spirit of evil. That's the spirit of Satan. Like you say, from Eve's original fall, Adam and Eve's original fall, and it's still in women. And you talk about how that, that can manifest in men, too. We joke and, call it a beta, and that is true.
That's why God said you must be born again of the Father. You got to overcome the nature of the woman, which is the nature of the devil.
That's right. That's true. I believe that. I'm not an angry person. I don't have a really anger issue. Now, as a little kid, of course, I would throw temper tantrums and, freak out, and I'd get disciplined, and that'd be fine. But really, as an adult, as a man, now married, I've been married for 10 years. My wife and I have 2 beautiful sons. Really, since I started having children, man, I've had this thing to where if I get a serious idea in my mind, something I really believe in, either whether it's thinking about Christ or talking to people about Christ, man, even my wife, or just other serious things, man, I get really just choked up, or I got to stop talking for a minute to really pull myself back together. Now, again, this isn't an anger, and it doesn't feel like I'm like sad or crying or throwing a fit, but it's like this emotion just kind of takes over me for a second. I gotta stop talking about what I'm talking about. And again, it's usually stuff I really believe in. I really feel something for. I mean, right now I'm getting a little emotional. I know it's corny. I'm nervous, number one, talking on the phone with you in front of the whole world. But yeah, I just, is that something I need to focus on more and really try? Is that a sign to try and control my emotions even more?
And what's your question for me?
My question is, when I talk about serious things I believe in with people, or even, I could be by myself and think about these serious things, I get emotional, like choked up.
Oh, I see. So you get emotional when you talk about Christ?
Sure.
And why do you get emotional talking about Christ?
I think, and again, we can't really be in our minds and think about stuff too much like that. I mean, I think it's just because I take it so seriously.
And why?
Because I guess for a long time I rejected it. I rejected Christ as a young man, and now as an adult, I see. I can look back and see, especially after listening to you and watching your show on YouTube. I mean, I could see how Christ has moved through my life. When I wasn't even paying attention, I didn't care, and so I guess that's why I get so.
So you could be telling people about Christ and you will get emotional about him, or you could be thinking about him alone and you get emotional.
Sure, just overwhelmed. I guess that's I don't know if that's a better word.
Right, you get overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
Oh, I got you. And you know why you get and you ask me why that is, or is that all right, or what?
Well, yeah, I'm asking you. I'm asking you: do I still need to focus and pray more about having my emotions under control? I mean, of course, I don't want to be a beta. I don't want to sit there and be crying in front of people, talking about either Christ or
does your wife obey you?
Yeah, yes, I believe she does. Yes, I have a wonderful wife.
Does she obey you?
I believe she does. Yes.
Does she obey you?
Yes.
Your wife obeys you.
I think she does as much as she can in her earthly mind. I think she does.
Does your wife obey you?
Yes.
And when you say I think she does, it sounds like you're not sure.
Well, no, I'm only putting that in because I'm in my own mind, because I know we are, my soul is in this body, and it's stuck in this body for this time, and I know other people are the same way.
Well, let me tell you, the reason you get so emotional about Christ or anything is because emotions are evil. It's anger. Yeah. And so the emotion that you feel is due to anger. If you didn't have anger, you would not feel emotional when you talk about Christ or any situation.
Sure.
And just that anger feel good, so you call it something else other than evil. It's evil. That's why you get emotional about Christ. And just like you get angry if something didn't go your way, it's the same spirit.
That's true. I understand. Thank you.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Absolutely. And it's funny, man, that's why your show has been blowing me away so much. Is looking back on my life, some of these things that you want of us to try and do to try and change our lives to focus, I feel like they almost happened to me in a natural sense. When I was first married to my wife, I could see how women can be different. And I was able to, through my wife, I was able to see kind of that thumb that my mother or my sister kind of had on me my whole life, and I was really kind of able to let that go and talk to my mother about it. Now, of course, my mother, she's a good woman too, but she thought I was crazy.
There's nothing good about your mother at all. What's good about your mother?
I would say that she is compassionate for people. Now, whether that's misguided or not, that very well could be, but she is compassionate for people.
What's good about your mother?
She loves me.
If she loved you, she would not have screwed you up.
That's true.
So why do you say she loved you?
That's, I guess, what I've been conditioned to think what love is on this planet.
I understand. And have you gone and forgiven her for turning you away from your father?
Yes.
You told her that?
Not in those specific words, but I will.
What'd you tell her?
I would just, it was getting at this conversation was a while ago, but it was that in a general sense that there was stuff that happened in my childhood, and again, nothing terribly abusive, not what we would consider abusive in modern times, but stuff that I looking back, I didn't like. I don't like that.
Did you tell your mother you forgive her for what she's done to you?
Yes.
You said, I forgive you for what you've done to me?
Yes. For the decisions you made in my life for me as a child, things of that nature. Yes.
Casey, you have not forgiven your mother.
Okay.
That's why you still have her emotions. You think your mother's good. There's nothing good about your mother, period.
Okay.
But yet you call her good. And why?
Again, it's what this world has conditioned me to think is good.
I understand. Okay. And how about your father? Have you forgiven him for not protecting you from your mother?
Yes. Well, my father's been deceased now for about 12 years, but strangely enough, on his deathbed, again, this is something now as a man, I look back and see that as a gift. On his deathbed, he grabbed my hand. This is probably 2-3 days before he died, and apologize. He was apologizing to me in a way about, Casey, I'm so sorry. Your mother and I, we spanked you so much compared to the other kids and blah blah. He just was really, in a way, I feel like, and maybe I'm too much in my head. In a way, he was wanting me to forgive him and to come to him and to be with him.
Casey,
especially in his final hours.
Can you hold for me?
Yes, sir.
Were your father and mother married?
Yes, they were.
And they were together until he expired?
They were, yes, they were together when he died, yes.
Okay. Can you hold for me?
Yes.
Hold on, buddy. 888-7753-773. A quick break. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. Freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought, because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
Extreme and chilling rhetoric from our greatest president on the invaders and the far left. Root out the far left. And Trump Sr. is an artist, says Don Jr. America is cognitively declining. And there's an applesauce recall. Watch out for lead poisoning. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Country and Western Tuesday. November 14th, AD 2023. There is one line open. You can call in, and JLP will get to your calls. But first, Hake news, not fake news. Commie Nonsense Network CNN reports our greatest president, Trump, is plotting a mass detention and deportation of undocumented, or fraudulently documented, rather, immigrants, should he regain power in 2024. Some of Trump's plans include rounding up illegal aliens already in the United States and placing them in detention camps to await deportation. A source familiar with the plans confirmed to Commie Nonsense. On Saturday, Trump vowed to sign an executive order day one out of a potential second term to cease funding of the provision of shelter and transportation for the illegals. He also publicly said he wants to revive many of his first-term policies to restrict both legal and illegal immigration. Nice. Including reinstating a travel ban on predominantly Muslim countries and bringing back a China virus policy known as Title 42 to turn around the illegals at the border for the health authority. Such plans would likely face fierce political and legal challenges from the busybodies who don't want America great anymore. Double-based President Trump. He's an artist with real estate. He sees things that others don't, said Donald J. Trump Jr., boasting about the Trump Organization's portfolio while testifying Monday in New York. That fake civil fraud trial against him and his father, Donald Trump, and their company, the Trump Organization. On the witness stand, our greatest president's son gushed about the properties his father built, including some that the New York Attorney General, black female, Democrat, alleges were fraudulently inflated in value on Trump's financial statements. Earlier in the trial, Don Jr. claimed he wasn't familiar with valuations of the properties, including on the financial statements that he signed. We're being driven mad. What got the government's attention? The ladies at the Skim report? Cognitive decline. Now, new Census Bureau data shows more Americans are showing they're struggling with serious cognitive problems, according to a new report. Maybe they shouldn't be voting or worrying their pretty little heads about politics, right? That includes concentrating, making decisions, or remembering. It's younger Americans age 18 to 44 driving the trend. As for the cause, researchers are pointing their fingers at long COVID. However, more research is needed into why the numbers around cognitive decline are increasing. Speaking of America's well-being, a new study found life expectancy gap between men and women has increased to nearly 6 years. That's the widest the gap has been since 1996. It's attributed in part to the China virus, because men die more from the China virus than women, and accidents like drug overdoses and car wrecks. Let's get it together, men. We need to outlive these women. Applesauce recall, the CDC, run by women and unchristian people, but they have a fair warning here. Healthcare providers, be on the lookout for children who may have been exposed to lead after eating cinnamon-flavored applesauce products. State labs have found extremely high levels of lead in certain lots of applesauce pouches since recalled by Wanabana, Schnucks, and Weiss. Probably not Christians. The pouches were sold by retailers including evil Amazon, Dollar Tree, and unchristian Sam's Club. Nearly 2 cases of high blood lead levels in children. 24 cases been reported in 14 states: Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Missouri, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Washington state. What a mess. And there's a fake climate crisis. But anyway, this is going to be the third Thursday of the month, ladies. Third Thursday of the month is the Women's Forum, so make sure you join JLP for the Women's Forum. RebuildingTheMan.com/events. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
Got to stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773 888-77-JESSE. JESSE. Jesse. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And I gave a 2-week challenge, And this week is the last week for it. I said for 2 weeks only, and you can go back to doing it. 2 weeks only. Don't blame, as an adult, blame no one for your situation. Don't blame, and let me know what happened. What was that like for you? How did that turn out? Don't blame. So this is the last week. My amazing producer, Sean, reminded me, a 2 weeks challenge. Don't blame anyone. The biblical question for this week. Have you ever and can you ever solve a non-practical problem by thinking about it? Have you ever and can you ever solve a non-practical problem without thinking about it? Amazing question. If you're busy and can't watch the show live, you could be doing what you're doing to listen live on your iPhone or iPad, anywhere in the world. If you were under that bridge, the 10 freeway bridge that blew up over the weekend, for whatever reason, and you're running around now trying to find another bridge to live under.
What the?
You could be listening to the show on your iPhone, iPad, or you just land up at a beach or a 4-star hotel. Don't matter. Working out. Call 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500 on your iPhone or iPad. And follow us on Rumble. You got to know how to rumble.com/Jesse Peterson and cozy.tv/JLP. Like, follow, ring the bell, subscribe, and blah, blah, blah. It's Tuesday. It's the last hour of the show on Tuesday, today. It is Grandpa, tell me about the good old days when the line between right and wrong wasn't so hazy. Country and Western Tuesday.
When I was a little bitty baby, my mama used to rub me in the cradle. In that old cotton field back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texas County. In that old cotton field back home. Amazing! Country and Western Tuesday.
Amazing. Country and Western Tuesday. Who let the dogs out? Let me go back to Casey, a first-time call out of Louisiana. And Casey gets so emotional when you talk, sometimes when you talk about cries and other issues. And he want to understand that. I get so emotional, baby, every time I think of you. Casey.
Yes, sir.
That emotion that you feel when you talk about cries or whatever situation is due to the hatred of your heart. Anger awakens emotions, and those emotions can sometimes feel good or feel bad, but they're always evil. And the only way you're going to overcome them, you must be born again of God. You must return to the Father. And the only way that's going to happen, you got to see that you resent your mother and you're yearning for your father, and go and forgive your mother for recreating you in her image. You have her mindset, you have her emotions, you have her nature. And her nature is that of the devil, because the God below is the woman's God and the God above is the man's God. You must be born again of the Father above, and all those emotions will disappear, and you will live a life of knowing God, not emotional life of thinking about God.
I understand.
But you got to forgive your mother and get rid of the idea that your mother is good. There's nothing good about your mother.
I understand.
You got to face her, man.
I'm going to. I'm definitely going to, and I appreciate it.
And do the silent prayer. You know about the silent prayer?
Yes, yeah, I have. I've been working on doing that every day since I really started watching your show and listening to you talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, do the silent prayer. And do you ever tell your wife your problems?
Sometimes, not all the time. I mean, I feel like as a man in the family, as a husband, I'm not going to burden my family with those problems. They're my problems. I need to get over it.
And why do you sometimes tell her your problems?
God, because I'm not praying enough. Because I'm not speaking enough to God and telling God my problems. And I feel like I need to get it all, get it out of my body and talk to somebody.
I see.
Which I don't need to.
Right.
I'm learning. I'm learning that I don't need to. That I need to talk to God and pray more.
And so you are doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Yes, sir.
And do you do the hoop and the holler prayer too?
No.
So you don't be asking Christ or God for anything?
Outside of, stillness in my heart,
What do you mean by that?
Well, like what we're talking about, trying to be emotionless, stillness in my body where I don't feel these, wild, crazy things like that.
Right.
Like crying. Then again, and man, I'm not sitting here talking about I'm crying, rolling on the floor, or anything like that. You just get choked up. You get a little choked up.
But getting choked up is evil.
Yes.
So
I agree with you, and I see that.
And I want you to know ain't no such thing as having problems. Having problems is just an illusion too. It's all in the thoughts. Thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. That's why God said to bring every thought into captivity, because they are of lies. They are of the devil. Anyone that believes they have problems are worshiping the devil.
I agree.
So do the silent prayer. Go and forget. Mother, I'm sorry for resenting you, for recreating me in your image. I'm just like you. And I don't want to be like you anymore. I'm sorry because I resent you for it. Her mother did to her what she's done to you.
And I see that personally. Now, my grandmother's been dead for 20-something years now, but I see that and just recalling memories of them, and then hearing accounts of her life growing up.
Yeah.
I see that. I definitely see that.
And
I'm like, yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that.
And that's why she couldn't help herself. She was recreating her mother's image, and she recreated you in her image. And that's what evil does. Evil works through human beings by keep repeating and recreating itself through other human beings as well.
That makes sense to me.
And so for right now, you're married to your mama. Your wife is your mama.
Mm. That's powerful.
But if you do the silent prayer, forgive your mother. Don't ask for forgiveness. You forgive her, God will forgive you. And he would change your situation and make it right. There's nothing you can do about it. He will make it right for you, but you got to let go and let him do it.
Amen, Jesse. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me know how it goes, Casey.
You got it, Jesse. Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. 888-775-3773. Chris has been waiting a long time out of D.C. Chris, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse. How you doing?
All is well, Chris.
All right, got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I'm a single man with no kids. I'm 42. What's the best way to go about finding a wife or waiting for a wife? Because I do want a family one day, and I have a desire for it.
And why do you want a family?
I want some kids, and I want, prayerfully some sons.
And why?
Carry on my name. I feel like it's important for. Well, actually, I'm the last of my family to carry on the name, so I feel like it's important to keep it going.
And why is that?
Well, I want to create godly children.
But if you're dead, how would you know your name keep going on? And why would it even matter?
Yeah, see, I don't have all the answers. I'm just telling you what I desire. But I was engaged twice. It didn't work out, of course. I'm glad it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to you for a while, and one thing I have given up is having sex with women because I didn't realize at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if any young men are listening right now, but if they are, believe me, having sex is the worst thing you can do.
It's a drug.
It's a drug.
The best way to find a wife is not to look for one, period. You're supposed to only seek the kingdom of God, and everything will be added unto you.
So don't look.
Don't look, because if you do, you're going to always end up with the daughter of the devil. And all you will ever catch is hell.
You might be right. The last two I was engaged to, I looked for those, and it didn't go well.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to ask you one question about intimacy. Do you think that, because I noticed that women that I've met who have been out there, when I say out there, I mean sexually, it just seemed like they carry a spirit with them that's evil. And so do you think because women are having so much sex that they're taking on the spirit of whoever they're dealing with? Is it that deep, or would you say that's going a little bit too far with that?
No, well, they have the spirit of evil, which is of their father, the devil, which was passed down to them by way of their mother. And women are not that into sex, but they're like a drug dealer. And they would give it to you just to have control of you. But if you were in control of yourself, a woman would be happy with a nice hug. They just want a hug. But the man want to have sex. I'm going to use another word. The man wants sex because he has been turned away from his father, and he's trying to find love through sex, and he's never going to get it. But a woman would just be happy with a nice hug. That's why when the sex is done, the woman still laying up there, she want a hug, and you're ready to go to sleep. And she's like, what about a hug? You're like, I want a hug. I'm going to bed. That's why when men have sex with women, they don't know what to do with them when they're done.
Wow, that's a different perspective.
But
I would definitely take that.
They need a return to the father, just as men do. And it's the job of her father, earthly father, to show her that. But because he has not overcome his mother, he's not able to do it. And every man the woman get involved with, they have not overcome their mothers. And so they're not able to do it because they're looking for the mama in the woman. And so it just repeats itself. But that spirit is pure evil, and the woman will use it to control you. And then she'll hate the fact that she has control of you because she needs you to help her overcome her hell. So don't look for a wife. Don't look for anything but the kingdom. And whatever is meant to be, it will happen naturally.
Okay. Well, I'm going to definitely take that because, like you said, a lot of times we're looking for the physical, and we find out, like you said, there's a lot of hell in there.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the only one looking at her, so that means that she like you said, I'm not her first rodeo, so to speak.
Yeah, so that's right.
A lot of you women got more experience than some men, so.
It's hard to find a woman today that's not a slut.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're out there. I mean, you look at the rap videos, a lot of the Christian women I meet, man, they just as bad as the women who claim not to be Christian.
Absolutely.
So. Wow. But I appreciate you.
You're welcome, buddy. Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night? I
don't know about the silent prayer. I don't know too much about that. I heard you talk about it, but I never.
Go to www.silentprayer.video or rebuildingtheman.com/prayer and start doing that so you can let go of all your desires and ideas and things that you want and the Father will add whatever needs to be. It will be added onto you, and it'll be perfect, Chris. And if you do get married, you will be married until death do you part. And it wouldn't be a fight between you and your wife. It would be the right woman that God put in your life, not the woman that the devil put in your life.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to look that up, and I appreciate you.
You're welcome, brother. Let me know how it goes.
Thank you.
All right. Bye now. Amazing. 888-77-53773. Raheem, a first-time caller out of California. Raheem, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Peterson. How are you?
All is well, Raheem.
How's it going? So I want to break it down. I have a background, and I want to ask you a question afterwards, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So, Mr. Peterson, well, I'm 26 years old. I think I'm young for the question I'm going to ask, but I've separated with my fiance back in the day. It's been already like 2 years, and then it's been really tough since then. And she got back with some nicer guy. I mean, she got with a nicer guy, and then all what I can think of is getting her back or breaking them up. Is just, I don't know why, but I'm just all angry all the time. I'm angry that things didn't work out for me, and I was trying to build another relationship, and I couldn't because I have no idea and no understanding why I'm just so hung up on that person. And then I'm trying to move on with my life, pursue my educational and career goals, but all what I can do is it's this thing in my mind all the time, and then I can't even develop myself that way. And I'm really afraid because I'm passing by the time I have in my youth to become somebody or find somebody else, and I'm just can't really surpass that barrier, if you will.
Okay.
Then my advice, my question to you will be, what would be your advice in this case?
Oh, okay.
In my case.
Let me ask first, you say you're passing the time when you could become somebody?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And what does that mean to become somebody?
Become somebody professional. Like I'm trying to go into the grad school.
Oh, I see.
Preferably in medical field.
But don't do that to become somebody. You do that because you need a job to survive on Earth. You need to work. You want to buy a house. But don't do anything to become somebody. You can't make yourself become somebody. And the more you try, the worse you're going to get. So if you want to go to school to learn to be a doctor or whatever, that's fine. But not to become somebody, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing, the reason you can't get over that woman or haven't is because you made her your God. And because she's your God, you're feeling the ego pain of losing your God. And so what I recommend is that you have to allow yourself to go through that pain knowing that you were wrong for making a woman your God. And once you go through the pain, because all thoughts are all lies, you would never make anyone or anything else your God. So you need to go through that. Let those thoughts about her pass, because all thoughts are all lies.
What thoughts do you mean? Like the good moments? It's been already like 2 years and I still can't come over that. And I'm just angry all the time.
And what are you angry about?
I'm angry at the fact that I can't really talk to her anymore because, well, she's in another relationship and then...
And why do you need to talk to her?
Because we were very good friends back in the day, too, before we started dating, too. And then we kind of grew up together, like, in the childhood, on our ideas formed together, where our puberty, where we went through the puberty together, and we were just like a one identity throughout this time. And then right now, it just feels so like empty.
Right.
And I can't fill it up with another people or with another things. That's what I'm so...
Have you overcome your mother? You forgiven your mother yet?
I forgive my mother, yes. I listened to your podcast before, and then my mom forgives me, and then I forgave her, and then I...
What did your mother forgive you for?
she lives that person, the girl that she lives in another country now. And I went for her, and I was trying to get her back, and my mother was telling me, "Hey, don't do it because it's gonna ruin you, and then it's gonna be hard to come out of this." And then I didn't listen to my parents, and I went there anyway to look for her, and I found her, but she didn't want to do anything with me. And then I came back all disappointed and broken, and my mom was there for me, my dad was there for me, my friends, but I still cannot go over that.
And
over
so
that barrier because I lost that person.
You went and forgave your mother?
Forgave her?
Uh-huh.
Why would I be forgiving her? What did she do?
You have not forgiven your mother?
Depends on what. I forgave her, but for what?
You forgave her for what?
Yeah.
What did you said you did forgive her?
Well, I'm not really understanding the point of forgiving my mother if she didn't do anything wrong. That's what I'm trying to say.
So your mother never did anything wrong?
Well, she probably did, but every mother does something to hurt their child. So.
And what did your mother do to hurt you?
What my mother did to hurt me? I'm not sure. Maybe she overloved me and then over cared about me, but I don't know if it's something to be forgiving her for.
And so you have not gone to your mother and forgiven her, right?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, you don't think so, or you haven't?
Well, no. I would say no.
And why not?
Because I don't know what to forgive her for.
Number one, for smother you with this so-called mother's love, because a mother's love is evil, and she recreated you her image, and that's why you stuck on this other woman, because you try to get some more mama's love.
If you could think that way, I would say that I could get that love from somebody else too, but I'm specifically hang up on that person. And then because we grow up as kids and then we grow up as a team, that's why it's so hard for me to surpass that problem.
Right, because you identify with this woman, and you didn't know better at the time, but you have, and the only way you're going to overcome her is that you got to overcome the anger, you got to overcome the emotions, you got to overcome the thoughts. And then everything would change and you will have a perfect life. But you got to overcome this. Are you doing the silent prayer?
I don't even know what it is. Mr. Peterson, I'm sorry, but I don't know what that is.
I want to recommend that you go to rebuildingaman.com/prayer. And I want to encourage you to sit quietly so you can see those thoughts about this woman that you're thinking about and about everything. Once you see that those thoughts have been lying to you, you're going to have to go and forgive your mother for recreating you in her image. You're trying to get something from this woman that she doesn't have to give, and that is she does not have love. And you're still trying to get love from her, and she doesn't have it to give. Love only comes from God. It doesn't come from another human being.
Mm-hmm.
So do the silent...
How do I feel this love from a God? Because I haven't been feeling anything related to the spiritual level.
Right, and that's what you need to start working on, because right now you're in the fallen state, and you got to rise above that, and that's not going to happen until you keep the focus on you so you can overcome the emotions. Overcome the thoughts, you will overcome the emotions, then you can move on with your life.
I see.
So do the silent prayer, rebuildingaman.com/prayer. Have you forgiven your father for not protecting you from your mother?
No, I haven't done any forgiving, I guess. Not to my mother, nor to my father.
And why not?
Because I just didn't know that I should have been forgiving them.
Yeah, your mother has created you in her image, and your father did not protect you from her because he's afraid of your mother. He can't deal with it in the right way, so he let you grow up too close to your mother. And you have
my father was not there. Like, he would be always outside of the country, and then I would be the main man in the household, basically. I have a sister too, and then
What does that mean, the main man in the household?
Like fixing things, going to the grocery shopping, picking up, having lifting weights growing up as a child, and then my dad would be working in another country, and he had to.
Why your mother didn't go grocery shopping and all that?
Well, we did together, and then we were doing this together, and then but every woman needs a strong man nearby her, right? And then share the song.
No, you should never have become your mother's husband. Your mother made you her husband, and that's what the problem is. You were the child. You were not the husband. You were the child, not the boyfriend. And she made you her husband. And you got to forgive her for that so you can overcome that.
In my understanding, I couldn't really relive that past because it's been past already, and then I don't know how would I forgive them. Like in a sense, what should I even forgive them for? Like how do I even forgive them?
Okay. First of all, do the silent prayer so you can see it first what's going on, and once you see that you resent them for putting that kind of responsibility on you as a kid, forgive them. They couldn't help themselves. It was done to them as well, your mother and your father, and you don't ask for forgiveness. You forgive them. I'm sorry for resenting you for creating me in your image, recreating me in your image. And God will forgive you. So don't ask for forgiveness. You apologize for being angry at them for what they've done to you. But you got to see it first, not because I said it. And then your mind will start to clear up, and you will overcome this woman that you've been pining over. That would disappear as well. Because you would be your own man. You would no longer have the identity of your mother.
Yeah. Makes sense. Well, I'm going to do the silent prayer first as you advised, and then I'm going to forgive for everything that happened.
Yeah, because otherwise you're just going to get worse because you're in your thoughts, and your thoughts are not your own. So do the silent prayer, and you're taking one step at a time, and let me know how it goes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jesse.
All right, buddy.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.
You too. The treasure chest is now open on D-Line. When I come back, more of your phone calls and super chats and other good things. Back in a moment. Check out my book, For Raised to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone. And you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. announcement. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. The Hake Report.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then after the Hake Report, Joel Friday TV. Joel Friday TV every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And after Joel Friday TV, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon, Monday through Thursday. And on Fridays at 4 p.m. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon today, right after Joel Friday TV. And the Women's Forum this Thursday, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. And yes, I will sign all the books if you go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663 to order the books. From Rage to Responsibility, my first book, and then The Antidote, Scam, How the Black Leadership Exploits Black America. That's still going on. I wrote that book a while back. And then The 7 Guaranteed Steps. And though we're having them reprinted in paperback, you can order the 7 Guaranteed Steps. They're available on Kindle and audiobooks. Audiobook. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/store, and there's a little link there on Amazon to Amazon.com where you can purchase the 7 Guaranteed Steps. But I'll let you know when we get it back in paperback again. And then last but not least, The Antidote, Healing American from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. And if ever we need a healing, Lord, we need it now. All right? And I will sign them. Let me go to back to the phone. Jessica is a first-time caller out of Texas. Jessica, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Jessica.
Perfect. Well, hi. I just had a couple of questions.
Uh-huh.
Since I'm kind of out of breath, I was walking. But I wanted to ask, how do you feel, not just as a man, but as a pastor, about men who are in long-term relationships with porn addictions?
Stay close to your phone.
Men in long-term relationships with porn addictions.
And what's a long-term relationship?
Anywhere from 2 to forever.
You mean they're married?
No.
They're just living together?
No.
They're just dating?
Seriously, yes.
The reason they're doing it because they hate their mothers. They have not overcome their mother's nature. All men and all women hate their mothers until they are born again of the Father. And so the guys are trying to find mother's love, and they think they can get it through sex, and it's not going to happen that way.
Got it. So then what advice would you give, for someone like me who's a young woman? Because I tried looking stuff up, for advice, and some say, you may be able to work through it with the guy, but then, or you can leave, but, if you leave, a lot of men this age, especially because I'm a young woman in my 20s, there's a lot of men that are my age that have those kinds of addictions. So even if I do leave, what's the chance I'll find someone else like that? Or how do I make sure I find somebody that is not addicted to that and lives a healthy lifestyle?
By not making it your business. You should never know about that. A man should never let a woman know about those kinds of things because women can't handle it and there's nothing they can do about it anyway. And so you shouldn't make that a part of your business at all.
Okay. So then what if my preference is I don't want men with those kinds of addictions?
But if you never ask, you would never know about it. So it wouldn't bother you if you didn't know about it.
But, okay. So But do you think it's wrong to have that sort of addiction?
It's neither wrong or right. It's something that they have to overcome by overcoming the spirit of their mothers. When they forgive their mothers for recreating them in her image, then God will forgive them, and He will cause them to overcome it. Because it's no different than using any kind of a drug. It's no different than using fentanyl or smoking pot or drinking or anything. It's just another form of trying to make yourself feel better.
Okay.
And so the men are trying to feel better. They're trying to overcome their conflict for what they have toward their mothers. And they're using that in the same way a murderer uses weapons, or it's the same thing.
Got it. So,
are you concerned about if you will find a husband or not?
No, I'm not concerned if I will find a husband or not. I don't know. I guess I recently found out, and I think after a really long time of pouring a lot of yourself into a relationship, and I know he has done the same, it makes me think, like whenever I have kids, I don't want my kids to have a dad who is addicted to that, because, a lot of pedophiles are addicted to that stuff, and and so.
How did you find out?
I found out because he basically admitted it to me.
And why did he admit it to you?
We were having a discussion about our relationship and our problems, and we both just started talking about what we felt we were lacking or just what we were struggling with. And so I said my side, and then he said his. And he's always had this big insecurity about me with other guys, which, for the record, I have never had done anything inappropriate with him. It's just the fact that he's always accused me of these things that I've never done. And I'm not saying that to make myself feel better. It's just like I truly haven't. And then, I find out that all the things he accused me of, he has been doing.
And so you didn't know about that until he told you?
Yeah.
And when you didn't know about it, it wasn't even a concern for you?
I actually had my I don't know if you want to call it a gut feeling, but I knew there was always something wrong. I was starting to feel more and more disconnected from him and neglected.
Disconnected in what way?
Just emotionally. I feel like he wouldn't truly be there for me whenever I really needed him. I feel like I've always been there for him when he's needed me. And he's been through a lot of hard times, and I just started feeling more and more distant from him, from his side.
When you say are you saying he wasn't there for you emotionally?
Yes.
And why did you need him to be there for you emotionally?
It's not like I need him to be there for me all the time, because I know how to solve my things, on my own. But it felt like if something were to happen to me and I needed a shoulder to cry on, I guess, sometimes it'd be nice to, be able to have some comfort through my partner, because that's what I've done for him this whole entire time.
And you were there for him emotionally?
Yes, I can truthfully say I was.
And did that help him by you being there emotionally?
I wouldn't say yes, because I was pretty much the only person there for him. He had no friends, and I think his family, I guess I just dealt with them for too long to put in as much effort, I think.
And did it help him that you were there emotionally?
I think in the time being, I want to say yes. He seemed to get better, and then I don't know, I guess not. Then I guess the answer would be no.
And so, knowing that that's a ridiculous idea, why would you continue to do that, and why would you want him to be there for you emotionally? Because it doesn't solve a problem at all. All it does is create another problem.
Okay. So then what would my next steps be?
It's to overcome your emotions, because emotions are evil, and you got them from your mother. You become just like her. And a man has no business trying to be there for a woman emotionally Or a woman shouldn't be there for a man emotionally because it's just two devils and it's all hell and there's no peace in it and it doesn't solve one problem. It just creates another problem.
Okay, then how should one be there for their partner then?
By not being there for them. Are you talking about?
What does that mean?
Are you talking about your boyfriend or girlfriend?
No, boyfriend.
Oh, why you call your boyfriend a partner?
I called him a partner because I see a relationship as teamwork.
Don't call him a partner. That's a gay term. Call him my boyfriend. Until you,
Okay.
Yeah, but you got to stop trying to be there for him emotionally because all you're doing is creating more problems. You're keeping him in hell. You're not his mama. He's supposed to overcome that. And in the meantime, you need to overcome your mother so that you don't be emotional either, because anyone that's emotional is a dangerous, evil person.
Okay.
Because the moment he doesn't be there for you, you're going to turn on him. I was there for you emotionally, and now you're not there for me emotionally, and you'll make him your enemy.
Okay.
You need to forgive your mother. She has recreated you in her image.
Oh, okay.
What do you think about that?
Well, I didn't really think about it that way.
And now that I mentioned it, how does it sound to you?
Well, I can definitely see where you're coming from. It does make sense. I think the only thing that still leaves me wondering is then what does a healthy relationship look like? Because then that just means then I don't know. Because I thought even if it's not emotional, maybe you'd want to be there for your partner in some way. I thought you were supposed to be like each
Don't
other's
say
rock.
partner, say boyfriend.
Boyfriend. Sorry, I just view it as like teamwork. But like even in the Bible it says, to be there like a rock, like they stay like strong foundation. So then in what ways, like what does a healthy relationship look like then?
A rock is not an emotional thing.
Okay.
When you're not emotional, then you would be there as a rock because you would not need him and he would not need you. And there would be no fighting, no argument because you're not trying to get something from him and he's not trying to get anything from you because your help will come from God and his help will come from God and you will have a relationship that will last until death do you part. And the Bible doesn't call a relationship a foundation anyway.
Okay.
Have you noticed that? The Bible doesn't call a relationship a foundation.
No, I guess not.
You need to work on you because what you're trying to get from these guys, they don't have it. It only comes from God, and you got to forgive your mother. When you ask your father why didn't he protect you from your mother, what did he say?
Wait, I'm sorry, can you say it again?
When you ask your father why didn't he protect you from your mother, what did he say?
Well, I've never asked him that.
Why not?
Actually, I mean, I'm not sure. It never really occurred to me to ask him that.
Have you gone and forgiven your mother for recreating you in her image?
No, I haven't.
And why not?
Well, I didn't see it that way.
I understand. You need to stop looking for emotions from a man or anyone, not even yourself. Emotions are evil. An emotional person is an angry person. And so they feel good, and they call that good, and then they feel bad, and they call that bad, and then they feel good, and they call that good, and then they feel bad, and they call that bad. And after a while, they jump off a bridge because feeling good is evil as well. You want to be free. You want perfect peace. You don't want to feel good.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
So have you heard about the silent prayer yet, my silent prayer?
Yeah, I've actually come across it. I've tried it a couple of times.
And what happened?
Honestly, to be quite frank, I think I ended up falling asleep.
Right.
So, like, I'll be mid-prayer, then I'll just fall asleep.
And the reason for that, because you've been so stressed out all your life trying to make life work, and all that stress is coming down on you because you're letting go. So it's fine to fall asleep, but just go to bed, go to sleep, and then do it every morning, every night. And eventually stress will not be a part of your life. It will be outside of you, but not inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Do the silent prayer. Forgive your mother for what she's done to you once you see what she's done. And don't ask for forgiveness because she's not going to forgive. What do you mean? I took care of you. Your daddy was no good. I had you. I did this and I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And she does that to control you because she cannot admit she's wrong. But just say, hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. I become like you. And then forgive your father for not protecting you from her. He couldn't deal with your mother because that is his mother. He married his mother.
Mm. Wow, okay. Yeah, that's crazy.
And so he couldn't protect you from her. And the guy you're dating is your mother because an emotional man is a woman. He's just like his mother. So you're dating your mother right now.
Oh, my gosh. That sounds terrible.
You're repeating the same cycle that your parents have repeated.
So then how do I break that cycle? What, by forgiving my mother? Is that what you said?
Forgiving your mother for recreating you in her image, and God will forgive you. And forgive your father for not protecting you from your mother. And God will return you to your father by causing you not to be angry at him or your mother. And he will change your nature to his nature, and you'll be fine. Then if you do date, it'll be fine.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening to my call.
You're welcome, but you got to start working on you. You can't work on someone else. They have to work on themselves. You cannot change another person. And to keep him by being supportive of his emotions, you're encouraging him to be weak. And then when he's weak, you hate him for being weak.
Yeah, and so I actually think that's very spot on. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, I mean, I think the best thing to do then would be to just let go and, like you said, work on myself, right?
100%. There's nothing that an emotional man can do for you at all because he is a woman.
Mm.
You have a lesbian relationship. Lesbian!
Mm. Yeah. You're so right. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I didn't think about it that way. So, one last question.
That's why I want you to focus on you now. It's time for you to overcome the fallen state by returning to the Father. Salvation is about returning to the Father. And what you're looking for is a father's love. And these guys don't have it. All the thing they're going to do is get sex from you, and they'll become the boy, and you'll become the mama.
Yeah, that sounds disgusting. Well, I do have one last question, if that's okay.
Yes.
You can be totally blunt. So after the discovery, I tried not being too judgmental. So I was really appalled. And this man was so. I mean, he was like begging for forgiveness, which I'm sure it's like the typical thing you hear. Like he wouldn't let me go. I mean, it was like for hours. I mean, he was even having anxiety watching me go, and he's like promising all this, but talk is cheap until your actions show that, right? Is there a possibility? And I'm just asking for curiosity. Is there a possibility that one can stay and possibly work out? If he really is truthful about what he's saying.
Yeah, there is a possibility, but don't you judge him now that you know his weakness. He should not have told you his weakness because it's hard for women to forgive and forget. And he can totally let all that go. And unless you forgive him and not judge him, you're not going to let it go. Because the moment he doesn't do what you want him to do, the devil's going to tell you, oh, he's doing porn. That's why he died. And the devil will lie to you. But if you don't judge him and he start to work on himself, absolutely, the relationship should work, can work. But don't try to get better to make a relationship work. You get better because you want peace on earth. You want the kingdom of heaven on earth.
Right.
And the kingdom is inside of you, it's not outside.
Right. Yeah, that's very refreshing.
Yeah,
it's
so
a refreshing perspective.
And forgive the young man. He couldn't help himself. He needs to overcome his mother. He has her nature, and he's looking for a mother's love through porn and sex and all that kind of stuff. He can't help it, so do not judge him. If you do, you'll be judged. You put up, whatever you do to others, you're doing it to yourself.
Mm. Right, yeah. It's just really great that you're telling me all this, because I would have not seen it that way.
Yeah, but now that you can see, it's God who is allowing you to see from within, and he's drawing you back unto him. So do the silent prayer where you see you do need to forgive your mother. Mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. And whatever she does, that's on her. Don't have any expectation. If she apologizes, fine. If she doesn't, fine. If she admits you wrong, fine. If she does the same thing with your father. Do the silent prayer and just work on you. And the light of the Father, the love of God, which is inside of you, will guide you in life.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. That feels really good to hear that.
So, but don't hold anything against this guy. He couldn't help himself either.
I understand. Yeah, no judgment.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure talking to you.
You too. Let me know how it goes, all right?
I will. Thank you.
All right. Oh, amazing.
Thank you.
Bye now. Super chat. Super.
Chats.
Chris Person is now a member over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Says,
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you, Chris. Amazing. I appreciate your support.
Elaine bought 3 coffees. Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine. Amazing.
Toast with peanut butter, 2 coffees. Biblical question answer.
Have you ever or can you ever solve a non-practical problem by thinking about it?
Sometimes before an important phone call, I plan what I'm going to say in my head beforehand. So when I make the call, I'm fully confident and have faith for my desired outcome, he says.
Amazing. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you.
The Great White Oat bought a coffee. How do I stop loving my hell?
By becoming aware of it, and that's it. Just becoming aware of it. Don't call it love or hate. Just be aware. Thank you.
Coffee Talk with Sandra Diamond. Nice haircut, Jesse.
Thank you. Coffee Talk with Sandra. I appreciate it.
Zuzu Sion, The Key, and Prince Vibes bought coffees, but I don't think I have time to read them till tomorrow.
Well, we'll read them tomorrow.
Along with the Cash Apps.
Thank you all so much. It's amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Look, get on that straight and narrow. You got to be willing to do it, and you got to be willing to do it by yourself. You can't take anybody on this journey with you. Either you love the world and hate God, or you love the Father and hate the world. You can't have both. You can't have one foot in hell and 1 foot in heaven. It doesn't work that way. Do the silent prayer, forgive, and you'll be fine. Let your ego die. The Hake Report coming up now. Thank you all. We'll finish the Super Chats tomorrow and everything else, and Cash App and all that. Bye.
Check. I had to get on the track one time. Joel Friday here. Check. Look, stand up. Stand up, we got fighting to do. We gotta show him who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understanding the lose? You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if you don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
So you get something went wrong, but it's the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. You know, Christmas is coming up. Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, all that coming up. I have some amazing books that would make for excellent gifts. I have the Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. And then Rage, From Rage to Responsibility. Check it out. Scam, How the Black Leadership Exploits Black Americans. And last but not least, a little small pocket guide, the 7 guaranteed steps to spiritual, family, and financial success guide. Just a little thin piece of book, but it's so good. So check them out. You can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And I can sign them if you order them that way. If you don't want me to sign them, no problem. You can order from Amazon.com, all right?